What's up, everyone? Real quick, check this out. Let me get in here real quick. Do you see how much better this looks when they book a smaller arena? This, just off the top of my head, I'm going to estimate it's about 6,000, no more than 8, because the top deck is not being used. So it may hold 8. I think there's about 6,000 here. But they can use a nice panoramic view. 8,000. If you got 6 to 8,000 people here that are screaming, that's solid. You can actually do everything you need to do. Stage takes up, but more importantly, this match. Look at what they did. They did something that I haven't seen since the '80s, and I'm just gonna mute it because it's not really important about what they say or do. But watch the camera angle as they come out. Typical straight on camera angle. Now, you're so used to them going to the hard cam on the left side. But that's not what happens here. It's actually, I'm going to go a little bit faster. It was a little disorientating because right here, the camera is like not even shy about coming. You never ever see this side of not even a WWE arena. I had not since the 1980s, and my memory stands out. It was always Texas, the Von Erichs. Speaking of, because the Iron Claw movie's coming out, but they were famous for using this angle. There's a Bruiser Brody match with what's his face, Texas Red, which was the Undertaker, used that camera angle. Old WWF footage used to use that kind of a camera angle. But you have to go back to the territories for this camera angle. And TNA used this camera angle. I take that back about going back, but it was very rare. And see, there's no shame because it looks full. So they'll show it. And I take, you know what? WCW used that camera angle. That's why I'm an idiot. WCW! Oh my god. So this is what happens when you film live. Xylot Themes, that guy's been doing this for a long time. Don't go to that website. It absolutely sucks. It's been around a long time, but they don't do anything. Anyways, so I knew I recognized this, and I was just like, wow, my whole life I'm used to this angle. And it was just clawing at me because I started watching wrestling in '83. And you see it in indie shows and things like that, and I like it. But then you go back to this other angle, and look, we're flipping. So which side of the ring are we really on, right? So this threw me off because I was sitting there. Once the match gets started, you're used to the faces and the heels being on one side, and the hard cam is on the opposite end. These guys are heels, but they're in the face position. The faces are in the heel position, but it's actually correct if you think about it from the fact that the hard cam is supposed to be on the other end. But they never switch. This is crazy, isn't it? Maybe I'm making, big things about nothing, but this is a Rampage show, and I don't know who the crew is, or, Tony's calling these shots, but are they experimenting with something? I know Kevin Sullivan just recently got fired, but this was before that. So whose call was this? But it's just crazy. So they go to the quick finish. We're still backwards cam. I like that. ECW actually filmed in this angle once because I remember the slam with Bam Bam Bigelow where he went through the ramp? That was filmed at that angle. Wow, it's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me now. Isn't that a Celine Dion song? I was just watching Orphan Black Echoes. Excellent show, by the way. If you're into that, watch both the original Orphan Black and then Echoes. The season finale was amazing. I know I'm getting off track, but highly recommend. 8.5 out of 10. These guys, right there. And then, I wanted to just catch you because you could see just how small this venue is from this angle. if they book more of these venues and Tony Khan can get out of this is their sweet spot. 5,000 people, 6,000 people, pack the house. Don't spend any money, save it, cut the roster by 50% at least, and this is where you need to be. And then you can use those other camera angles, and it makes your product look fresh. Now, will he do this? I don't know, but of course, every time I already think AEW is dead. I think 2029 will be their last year. I've been sticking to that prediction for the last 3 years now, but if they can downsize and be okay with that for a few years and then rebuild fundamentally, I already think MJF is leaving, and they have to be okay with that, and they have to know that their core, Jericho, the Young Bucks, and Omega and everybody like that is 40 plus. They better be willing to push the Keith Lees and everybody else, because MJF and Swerve Strickland are the only two guys that have ever gotten over in AEW history. So you got to do the small things, and this is it right here. So I'm highly critical of AEW, but this right here, I like it. It makes me feel like I'm watching old school wrestling, and WWE never shows the alternative view. Something like that is enough to make you stand out. It's the devil's in the details.